Bonjour, bienvenue tout le monde. Without a doubt, it is an absolute privilege and relief that we welcome you all here tonight to acknowledge the graduating class of 2021. What a unique way for us to reflect on all that we have achieved over the past 7 years. We express our thanks to the Germana Drive-In for allowing us to use their venue to bring us all together to celebrate a truly momentous occasion.
Before we continue, we would like to extend a special welcome to Mr. Fisher, Mr. Mack, Miss Burkle, teachers and staff. While you have done an outstanding job supporting us through our primary school years, we must also express our sincere thanks and gratitude to our mums, dads, grandparents or other family members who took on a greater educational role over the past 7 years. You all deserve a medal. 2021 has certainly been a year we will never forget. Despite the challenges, we are so proud of every classmate for overcoming the continuous changes and proving your outstanding resilience, confidence, determination and courage. For this, you should be very proud. These qualities have been shaped and encouraged over the many years we have spent together and by the great teachers that have supported us along the way.
Prep began with the amazing teacher trio of Miss Palmer, Mrs. Wilson and Mrs. Higgins. With genuine care and support, they guided us into new understandings, into the world of thrash, maths and other interesting life lessons, including weekly French lessons with Mrs. Weber. Do you remember our special French day, Will?
Oh yes, I thought we were going to have to eat snails and frog legs.
Oui, merci.
Thankfully only frogs of the chocolate variety. But that leads us to our prep dinner dance. What a night to remember. Our parents spent a long time dressing us up in our finest clothes and we looked $1 million. After hours of rehearsal, we proudly presented a French song all about a girl named Delphine. I seem to recall she looked a lot like you, Maisie.
Yes, a very strong resemblance for sure. Prep was filled with other amazing moments, including Pirate and Princess Day, breakfast at school, and a whole school walkathon where we came dressed up as what we wanted to be when we grew up. I came as a dancer. It was heaps of fun.
But let's not forget our trip to Sorrento Park. Do you remember that we discovered the lollipop tree?
That was the best. It's funny how it always seems to bloom when our school goes there.
Perhaps we should go and check it out. Wait, we better check. Is that part of the new road map?
Are you kidding me? It sure is. The lollipop tree should be considered an essential service anyway.
In grade 1, we moved to the current grade 5 classrooms in the Burr. We were welcomed by the wonderful Miss Baruti, Miss Capana and Mrs. Ross. Our year was filled with lots of exciting events, including an excursion to the Macrae Lighthouse and a visit from Wild Action, where we got to hold snakes, lizards and even a baby kangaroo.
It was the year of the Rio Olympics, and to celebrate, the whole school had an Olympic day. Everyone dressed up in their country colours, with grade 1s representing Japan, France and Mexico. Olé! Sadly, our well-beloved principal, Mr. Short, decided to retire at the end of that year, so we bade him farewell with the ever-famous rendition of the Wombat on a surfboard.
Grade 2. Moving from the top of the school to the bottom, Mrs. Ross couldn't bear to let us go, and so continued our educational journey with us, alongside Mrs. Bodger, Miss Friend and Miss Steppick. Louis even joined the team, bringing us lots of laughs and heaps of hot chips. The highlight of this year was definitely our first school camp. Divided into rivaling teams, we set out on an amazing race around Rosebud. With a determination to see our teams win, we blindly put our hands into containers of all things squishy, took group selfies outside shops and built sandcastles on the beach. It was truly amazing. That night we enjoyed a sleepover at school. I don't know how much sleep the teachers got, but we sure had lots of fun. Another highlight was our performance of the Hungry Caterpillar at the school festival. What an act! Giant fruits being eaten by a huge caterpillar, all before transforming into a beautiful butterfly. What were you, Tilly? An apple? The butterfly?
As if I was all important sound effects. We began our Year 3 journey with Mrs. Thompson and Mrs. Elliott. Mrs. Wilson missed us so much that she returned to teach us alongside Mrs. Nell too. Louis and Tamika also supported us in our learning. We began our year bonding on our first ever foreshore camp. It was an awesome experience, engaging in lots of water safety activities. What a great start to the year it was. What was your memory of grade 3, Maisie?
Oh, who could forget our book week dress-up day, where all the teachers dressed up as Captain Underpants. What a sight. They were hilarious. What about you, Tilly?
My memory is the end of year outing to the cinema. Our teachers had planned to take us to the Eagle, but with rain expected, plans had to be quickly changed. Wise move. The rain was torrential that day and we had to make a mad dash from the bus to the cinema foyer. We were soaked. Despite the movie being How the Grinch Stole Christmas, he certainly didn't steal our fun or sense of adventure.
Grade 4 finally saw Miss Grant graduate from prep and skip every year in between just to teach us, along with Mr. Dean and Mr. Ledger. This year proved to be one of fun, and well, more fun. Where do I begin? To start the year we had a camp on the foreshore where we got to experience cooking noodles on the Trangias by ourselves. We enjoyed water safety activities and spending time with friends.
We were so excited when we discovered we were going to the Melbourne Zoo on an excursion. Miss Grant's instructions were that we weren't to leave the zoo until we had seen every single animal. Well, that nearly turned out disastrous for her and her group as the bus nearly left without her. We learned how fast she could run that day.
Running! That reminds me, the colour run. Hoping to raise money for a new school playground, we dressed in our lightest coloured clothing to be sprayed with water and doused in coloured powder. It was loads of fun, but I think my skin was pink for weeks after that.
To end the year, our teachers planned what they'd called an epic day. We had fun playing party games and completing a scavenger hunt around Rosebud. The highlight of this day was definitely going to the ice cream shop. We did think Miss Adina made sneaking too much ice cream, but we soon discovered she was expecting her first baby. In farewelling her, we held a special baby shower in her honour, even having to try baby foods and use string to guess the measurement of her baby. Our math skills were put to the test that day, and I'm pleased to say that Miss Adina's baby was not 2 metres tall. With her departure, we welcomed Miss Arnold to our school to complete our final few weeks. And then, just like that, we were seniors, grade 5. This year proved to be a huge challenge for everybody with the introduction of Google Classroom and online learning. Our amazing teachers, Miss Claff, Miss Tricky and Miss Boyd, along with Robin, Rob and Shelley, encouraged and supported us, cheering us on to do our best and persevere through each day.
With our planned camp to the city cancelled, the teachers kindly hatched another idea, Urban Camp Online. Dressed in our footy colours, we toured the MCG, played minute-to-minute games and went on a tour of the Polly Woodside. We even visited the old Melbourne jail, all while staying within the travel restrictions. What a camp.
Finally, 2021, the big one, grade 6. Having conquered a challenging and difficult 2020, we were ready to take on anything. But little did we know what the new year ahead would bring us. But let's hear more about that later with our house captains.
Breaking out from the junior ranks, Mr. Houston enthusiastically joined the grade 6 team alongside Miss D, Mrs. Elliott, Steve, Louie and Robin. Despite a topsy-turvy year of on-site and remote learning, you encouraged us and supported us and most importantly helped us to see the strength, determination, resilience and courage that was inside each one of us.
Thank you. # too many times to count. Your patience during remote learning was inspirational, although I'm sure at times you wish there was a mute button upon our return to school. To all of our classmates as we graduate today, let us remind you of the courage and determination you have shown yet again through these unprecedented times.
Christopher Reeve, famous for his role as Superman, once said, "A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles." When we were confronted with a worldwide pandemic, limited restrictions and hours of online learning, just remember, you were one of the heroes that persevered and overcame those obstacles. Take pride in how far you have come and have faith in how far you can go. So, as 2021 comes to an end, continue to be the heroes in your own stories and make the next chapter of your lives the best that it could possibly be. No matter what you are faced with, just remember, you can achieve anything.
And as the French say, bonne chance, mes amis!